up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing this makeup look right here, but it's not so much going to be so product orientated, although I have left everything in the description bar down below. Today we are just going to be having a conversation, having girl talk, having a girl chat. I asked you guys to send me in any advice or queries or problems you might be having at this time. I know it's so difficult that we can't, physically interact with our friends to get advice on things that might be playing on our mind. So I just want to be that kind of voice for you and have this chat with you. And I'm isolating on my own, so this kind of puts me at ease, makes me feel like I'm having a conversation. And yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing super chatty videos to keep me sane and also be an outlet for you guys. So I hope you appreciate that. But like I said, we are doing this makeup look here. Super fun. I'm seeing so many people do this kind of mint or just pastel makeup looks in general. I think they're so pretty. I was pretty inspired by Leary on Instagram. She did like an all matte mint look. So yeah, when I said I wanted to do these conversational type videos, so many of you told me that I should do more Instagram lives, which I totally want to do. I never really do them, so it didn't really occur to me to do that. But I am going on Instagram live with Pretty Little Thing tomorrow, as in April the 2nd at 12 p.m. So I would love you to join me over there on Pretty Little Thing's Instagram just to have a chat, catch up, a bit of a conversation, give a little feel for, if I do Instagram lives in the future. So I would love to see some of you guys there. But without further ado, grab a cup of tea maybe. Let's just have some girl talk. Let's just play with makeup, answer some advice, make y'all feel a little bit more normal. If you like the look of this makeup look and the sound of this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up right now. And for more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. Right, so first things first, let's just clip my hair out the way. I love these little clips. These ones, I think I got from Primark. I think they might be the Andrew Fitzsimmons ones, but you can get them literally from anywhere, like on Amazon as well. I feel like before we start as well, I always get a lot of questions if I'm wearing something, quite noticeable. This top is like a little twist front crop top, long sleeved. It's from a Pretty Little Thing. I'm really gonna tie in with the eye look that we are doing today. So before you ask, it's from Pretty Little Thing. If I remember, I will try and link it in the comment section. And my necklaces, I always get a lot of questions on that, so I might as well just tell you. The cherry one is from an Instagram brand called Neck on the Line. And this Playboy bunny one is from Misguided. Let's just get those out of the way. So I'll verbally call things out if I can, but with certain things it's kind of obvious what I'm using, but I have left everything in the description bar down below, as well as a link for you guys if you want to actually get it yourselves. I don't want this to be too long of a video because I want to get through as many as your queries and questions and all that good stuff as possible. So I'm just moisturizing. We are going to be doing the eyes first, but I'm just going to moisturize my skin. So we've got time for this to just kind of settle in. So let's go ahead and start with the first question. Someone has asked some advice saying, dealing with arguments with my boyfriend during isolation. If you're living together and you're arguing, it's quite a tough one in the sense that if you didn't already live together, you're now spending loads of time together that you may not be used to, and you obviously can't really get the space that in a normal situation you would be able to get. But I think it's just best to communicate when it comes to any sorts of arguments. And when anyone ever says the key to like a long-lasting relationship and stuff is just communicate. Even if you think it's silly, if it's annoying you, you have to speak about it, but speak about it in a way that, is understanding of both sides, explain how you feel, but then understand, the way that they might be feeling, listen to what they have to say. You have to kind of have a level, like I said, of understanding in these certain situations because you are in confined space, don't really have the escape that you used to. Maybe if you just take time out in separate rooms, if that's possible. But I feel like in this time, don't sweat the small things. Everyone's gonna be a bit antsy and worried, and it's normally just, underlying stuff that's scaring them. Like, it's a really scary time right now. And we all do just need to sort of be there for each other. So yeah, I guess my advice is just to really don't let it affect semester, talk it out, communicate, have a level of understanding. It's a very, very stressful time at the moment. Never go to sleep on an argument, that's for sure. Right, before we continue with more of the questions, I'm just gonna say right now, I'm using 2 products from Huda Beauty, the matte and melted shadow in De Niro and Minted. I'm using the matte minted shade as the base, and then I'm going in with the Pastels Mint eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. This is so pretty. Like, look at those shimmers. I've seen a lot of people doing mint looks, and you know, goes with my top, so I thought, why not? Let's experiment with some color. Mint's also very calming too. A lot of questions about how to get over an ex. Now, this is a tough one because people deal with things in different ways, but for me, I don't know, keeping distracted is great. Putting yourself out there, because if you're not, because you're still, you know, telling yourself that you're so hung up on this person, you don't want to be with anyone else, you're not really allowing yourself like a chance to find anyone else. So maybe just get on a dating app, you know? No one says that you have to meet up with people. It's just nice to see, you know, what's out there. In this time as well, it must be especially difficult because normally I would say hang out with your friends, go out, you know, like dinners and drinks and stuff like that, but obviously we can't do that. So I don't know, maybe take up a new hobby. If you're into art or drawing, maybe just draw things. Definitely delete things that remind you of them. It's no good in this time to like be going over your camera roll and like just dwelling on old pictures. Just delete them. But like I said, just have like a little browse on dating apps. It really is totally circumstantial to the as to like why you broke up and stuff like that. For example, if you broke up with them but you still love them and miss them, just remember the reason like why you broke up with them, and remember it's the right thing to do. If you're still not able to get over someone, because someone said that they broke up with someone like 3 months ago and they're still not over them, unless they've moved on, why don't you reach out again? I mean, unless, like I said, unless they broke up with you and it was for quite like a specific severe-ish reason, you know? Why don't you just reach out again? If it's meant to be, it'll be, and they might be feeling the same, but I always just think everything has happened for a reason. You obviously weren't meant to be together, and just sort of get yourself into the mindset that if that person wanted to have stayed with you and been with you, they would have. So you really just have to think, thank you next, you know what I mean? Take that as a lesson and try and focus on the future. And there's gonna be someone out there that loves you and wants to be with you for the rest of your life. So just keep in that mindset. Someone said my ex, we're going completely opposite here. Someone said my ex is not leaving me alone after we broke up. Constant contact. That must be so difficult and so annoying. I have seen this happen to some of my friends before, where their exes just cannot take no for an answer, and it's quite scary. It really is honestly quite scary. All I can say is just the kind of obvious ones, which is to block them on every form of social media you might have them on. Don't respond to their texts. If they continuously don't leave you alone, I wouldn't be scared to message their parents, depending on obviously how long you dated for, and if you have a good relationship with them, just to say, hi, I hope you're well, just to let you know, so-and-so, I don't think it's taken the breakup very well. They're constantly contacting me and I've tried my best to be nice about it. It's obviously very difficult for the both of us, but I don't really think the message is getting through. I just want to make sure that they're okay, but to keep my distance. If there's any way you could, you know, speak to them, ask them to maybe, I don't know, you can't really just say ask them to leave me alone, can you? That's a little bit savage. But just to say, just make sure that they're all right. I'm trying my best to get over this too, and it's really hard with the constant messaging and contact, so I just didn't know if you could maybe have a word that sort of, oh my god, I've lost my earring back. Oh no. Just realised that then. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I would do, but that's when it gets like proper, you know, they literally will not leave you alone. Other than that, I would just block them. It's when they start getting weird and maybe make like another account just to speak to you after you've blocked them, then I would message the family. Someone said, me and my boyfriend have been together for 4 years and I'm bored. Felt like this before, don't know what to do. Okay, so I love the fact that you included that you felt like this before, because if you hadn't, I would have said just to, you know, mix it up, try new things, that sort of thing, just give it another go. But you've said that you've felt like this before, so it kind of just sounds like now that you've got the dreaded ick. which is very, very hard to shake off. I feel like if you had the ick with someone, you know it's so hard, and it's kind of unfair because they haven't done anything wrong. It's just one of those things, you know? So if I was you, you've given it a go, you just have to have that difficult conversation, I'm afraid. And I know that's probably not the advice that you wanted to hear, but you know, life is too short. If he knew you were feeling this way, he might be feeling the same as you, but it's just, you know, you've been together for so long, trying to stick it out, but that's not really fair on either of you. You both deserve a chance to find, you know, real love with someone, because the right person, you'll never get bored with them. That's just facts. Obviously, things are never gonna be, well, I don't know, it depends really, but obviously things are never gonna be the way that they always were, like from the beginning, because you do get comfortable with people, but that's just the way of life, and you either go one way of being comfortable with someone and, you know, that's enough, or you get so comfortable with someone that you're bored, and like you don't want it to get to a point where you're tempted to do something bad, because that's just not fair on either of you, and especially not your partner. So if I was you, I would just have the conversation, explain how you're feeling, and just go from there, because they might be like, do you know what, we should break up then because this is not okay, or they might give some suggestions too. They might do things differently if they've sort of realised that that's the way that they feel as well, you know? It's just one of those annoying conversations that is gonna be so much better for you in the future if you just have the conversation, but it's plucking up the courage to have the conversation that's really, really difficult, but that's what I would say. Sorry, just had to go ahead and do my eyeliner off camera because I certainly, I don't know about any of you, cannot talk and do eyeliner at the same time, but I did use the Inglot gel liner. Falling back in love with gel eyeliner. Just looks super, super black. I'm gonna use this creamy bit to do like a really like shimmery mint in a corner, and then pop this shade on at the top. But this is a really good question, especially at this time, saying, I live in a negative household. Any tips for staying positive? I'm really, really hoping that by negative, you don't mean abusive in any sort of way, because if that is the case, there are numbers to call that are completely anonymous. There are websites you can go on where they can't track your history, which you can go on, and I really, really, really recommend that you do that. Your safety is the most important thing at this time, as well as your health. If it's that sort of negative, please do that now. But if it's just negative in the mindset kind of way, or everyone's just feeling a bit down, it really kind of depends on the severity of what you mean by negative, I guess, because if you're a positive person and your whole family's feeling negative and you're asking me sort of how can you cheer them up, or it's just generally negative household, you just, I don't know, either keep yourself to yourself in your room if that's possible, just doing things that make you happy online, downloading drawing apps if you don't want to go downstairs and get games or anything like that, or maybe like ask to play games with your family, if it's the sense of like they just sort of need to be cheering up. I've always find that cooking is a great outlet. I feel like cooking makes everyone happy, especially if it's like desserts or something like that. Maybe bake some cookies for your family if you have the means to do that. Cookies make everyone smile. I'm not even joking. If someone was like, I made you some cookies, you can't be angry at them for that. I'm not really sure on the context of the situation. I know right now it's hard with all having to be trapped inside in the same household, but just because they're your family, if they are bringing you down, you shouldn't feel forced to have to interact with them at this time. Like I said, just keep yourself to yourself, stay in your room, find things that keep you entertained. Maybe, I don't know, move things around in your room, have a nice refresh of things, maybe give your room a clean, just something that keeps you occupied and to yourself if you don't really want to interact with your family because they bring you down. I always feel like starting afresh and like moving furniture around and stuff is really fun. It takes up a lot of time. You always end up finding things that you never knew you had that you can, you know, keep yourself entertained with. So I hope that's kind of like what you meant in that way. Sorry, it's obviously quite hard when you don't know the context of the situation, but I just kind of wanted to shout out a few general suggestions because I feel like at this present moment that's a really, really you know, important thing to touch on. Ooh, someone said if a girl says she kissed your boyfriend of 4 years but he denies it, what do you do? That is so hard. Here's the thing. So you need to kind of take things into consideration. For example, the girl's track record and your boyfriend's track record of things. Has anything ever come up in the past that would make you question it? or this rumors like this have gone around before. But if the answer to that is no, and your boyfriend hasn't done anything to question or make you question your relationship, then you really have to put your trust in your boyfriend right now. And I know that can end up you looking like a fool, but he's your boyfriend, and this is just a girl. You've just said a girl says, you haven't said she's your friend or anything like that. It's just a girl, and I know sometimes girls really are just looking out for girls. I'm not saying to be aggressive towards her, but if there's no, she needs to provide you with some sort of proof. You can't just take her word for it over your boyfriend of 4 years that has no track record type thing, because that's just gonna cause more arguments for you and your boyfriend in the future. 1 second, I'm just gonna put some lashes on. Who remembers the Coco Queen Bee lashes? I just found a bunch of them in my makeup collection. Thought, you know what, I'm actually gonna wear these. They're so like fluttery and big and wispy. Perfect for this look, so I'm just gonna stick these on, but I just thought I'd tell you before I continue with that. But yeah, you do just kind of have to put your trust into your boyfriend at this time, because she's not giving you any evidence, I don't think, by the sounds of what you're saying. And you don't want to push your boyfriend away because you just keep arguing about it. And it's like you have to make a decision. You either trust your boyfriend and move on, or you take this girl's word for it and you break up. I just put those lashes on and they are fire. I completely forgot about them. Love that. We can move on to the skin now. I'm just gonna go ahead and prime. Someone says losing your virginity, like what's normal and knowing when you're ready and stuff. Again, that is totally dependent on the person. Because for some people, it is not a big deal at all. They are happy and comfortable just to do it with whoever. They just kind of see it as something that they need to get out of the way. And if that is the case, all I can really say is just to make sure it is with someone that you trust, and to make sure that you are being safe, use the right protection. Yeah, don't do anything that you don't want to do, because if you do it with someone that's like a little bit more experienced, sometimes they just assume that you are too, if you've not had the discussion that, you know, you are a virgin and stuff, and they just assume that they're gonna do all the things that, you know, everyone's done. But if you've never done them before, yeah, you just need to make sure that you're doing stuff that you're comfortable and ready to do. But in an ideal situation, it would always, I don't know, ideally be with someone that maybe you've been with for a while, that you trust, that you know really well. I think you'll know when you're ready, because it will feel right, and there's no way to tell you like what that feeling is. You will just know as a person if it feels right or wrong, because there'll be voices in your head saying like, no, God, like, no, like, I don't, like, this isn't right, and it will show in your body language. You'll be very stiff and just not really like willing, if that makes sense. So I think that's kind of when you know if you are ready or not, because you'll feel comfortable and relaxed is the main thing, and feel aroused, because hopefully it'll be with someone that you think of in that way. For the love of God, don't just do it because you feel like everyone is doing it, but you know deep down it is a big deal for you, if that makes sense. Because obviously it's kind of like a one-time thing. You only have one virginity. So you just kind of want to make it a good story rather than a bad one. I mean, so many people will have a bad virginity story, and like that's okay, but I'm just kind of giving you ideal scenarios and what I feel comfortable sort of suggesting to you guys and recommending to you guys. All I can really do is just to say, whatever happens, just be safe about it. Don't do anything that you don't want to do. Don't be scared to say no if you have a change of heart. If the person is right and is someone that you trust, it should not be a problem, you know? So yeah, but I think in summary of saying that and the original question, knowing if you're ready, it's that gut feeling, you know, when you're in a situation, you will just know if you're ready or not. And if you're not, do not be scared to say no. It's your body, your choice. And if you've gone about it the right way and it is with someone that you trust, they should understand. Someone said how to get out of the friend zone with a boy. This is a good question. You know what? Everyone always says that boys never friend zone girls, really. That deep down they would, you know, go there with like most girls. You've just got to test the water, I think. If you talk all the time, maybe just make, you know, little flirty jokes now and then, like a tasteful sexual innuendo maybe. You just have to gauge someone's, you know, response. You don't want to go straight in there. You know, I'm seeing these challenges on TikToks where it's like kissing my guy best friend, and like, I think that's so invasive. Like obviously the ones that aren't successful, I'm guessing, haven't really been posted. But I always think you just need someone's permission before you do stuff like that, especially if they're like not really expecting it, because it's quite hard to say no when someone's just throwing themselves at you, so they don't really get a choice. And I feel like in things like that, people deserve a choice. So if it was me and I was trying to get out of the friend zone, I would just, yeah, make flirty jokes, sort of gauge their response. If they're really just like not budging on this, then I do think you need to maybe give it up and try and get over the situation. Or if you feel comfortable enough to discuss it with them and just be like, look, I actually think I quite like you. What are you saying about that? You know, it's always better to just like communicate and talk. Yeah, either test it out with some flirty comments, jokes every now and then, gauge their response. If they're kind of reciprocating it, then maybe that's when you say like, I think I'm starting to like you. But yeah, totally kind of dependent on your friendship level, you know? Someone said it might be TMI. I have anxiety if I'm not smelling nice down there. Do you have any tips? I follow this girl called Hailey Gamba on YouTube, and she is known as like the self-care queen and has so many videos on stuff like that. And I was actually watching one the other day that was about hygiene and stuff like that. The best thing you can do is to not use any perfume, you know, infused products down there. For example, like really fruity shower washes. Use that for the rest of your body, like that's no problem, but it can really upset the pH, and you want it to remain kind of neutral, you know, and balanced. So using nothing with that's like fragranced. Is it a myth that drinking cranberry juice kind of helps? Or pineapple juice? Not like excessive amounts, but just drinking cranberry juice maybe. Make sure you're allowing your downstairs area to like breathe. So if you're wearing underwear to bed, maybe try not to. Don't wear super, super tight pants and bodysuits all of the time. That's not good either. But yeah, you basically just want to make sure that you're washing regularly. I use Dove body wash down there because it's not fragrance and it's really great for your body. Or just water. I've seen things about wipes and stuff, as long as they don't have any fragrance in them and you're only really using them on the exterior, I feel like that's good too. But I would honestly recommend Hailey Gamba on YouTube. She's so, so good for videos like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face with powders right now. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powders in the shade 1 and 2, and then I'll be right back so we can do brows and answer more questions. I'm literally obsessed with those Charlotte Tilbury face powders. They are so good, and I'm just gonna sit here and do my brows while I continue to answer more questions. I'm gonna go ahead and fill them in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. For a few more like detailings at the front, I've been loving to use the Benefit Ka-Brow to do that, and then I set it all in place with the Benefit 24-Hour Clear Brow Gel. So just shouting them out, you guys already know. But yeah, let's continue. Someone said, is it worth it to go after a friend's ex? Now, this is very, very difficult. I've answered this similarly in previous questions, because I always get questions about this. And like, I'm in two minds. Obviously, it's like a weird situation because depending on how long, I think it's very circumstantial depending on how long that they were together for, how, you know, serious the relationship was. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that your best friend was with this person for a long time, which is why you're questioning it. But I've seen and, you know, heard so many stories about people that obviously two people dated for a long time and it didn't work out for them. But you have to remember that you and your best friend are obviously going to be very similar, hence why you're best friends. So that boy is most likely going to find you attractive, and you are probably going to find him attractive because I'm assuming you and your friends might have like a similar taste. But yeah, there's so many stories about people that, you know, took the plunge and dated their best friend's ex, and they were the ones that ended up getting married and stuff like that. So it's so hard, because I personally would hate to stand in the way of something if I thought that maybe they would be more suited, but it's obviously just so hard to watch. So it's so hard. It honestly depends how serious your feelings are for this person. It's definitely something that you need to speak about with your best friend. It's your best friend at the end of the day. They might actually be surprisingly understanding, but if not, you just have to then tell yourself what is more important. Me finding, you know, love, but then losing my best friend, or, you know, remaining best friends with this person, you know? It's a very, very tough decision that only you will be able to make, but don't feel bad about it. It's a very common situation. You obviously can't help but feel guilty, but I've just explained to you the kind of like science behind it, so hopefully that might make you feel a little bit like better. Don't feel bad, don't beat yourself up about it. Again, it's just one of those things that you need to discuss and talk about. If you don't, you'll probably end up doing something that, you know, your best friend will say, if you'd just spoken to me about it, it would have been so much different. So just don't let that happen, and just do the right thing, which is to just discuss it with your best friend before you make any sort of move. I've had loads of questions about people missing their boyfriends during isolation and tips on that. I would honestly just say FaceTime. We are so lucky that FaceTime exists, but in this time you don't want to overdo it, I would say. And therefore, like, when you meet up in person after this is all over, it's just kind of like, you know, we were basically talking the whole time and I don't know, the spark's kind of gone. You want to keep it, you know, keep it flirty, keep it interesting. Yeah, I would say like FaceTime dates. Why don't you just schedule maybe once a week or maybe a couple of times a week to full on like have like a dinner date together over FaceTime. I think that's so cute. I'm seeing loads of people suggest that, to like actually kind of like cook together on FaceTime, have like a glass of wine together on FaceTime and just chat. Still obviously recommend to have like flirty chats with them. You don't want the spark to go during this time. You know, just talk about the things that you miss about each other in a flirty, sexual kind of a way. Yeah, but just make sure that you don't overdo it. When things are like easy, it's not so attractive anymore. So you still want to like keep a little bit of distance. So obviously just spend time with your family and stuff, but still make sure you're having contact. This time will pass, but you want to do entertaining, fun, flirty things to pass the time. So I feel like some good suggestions. Right, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the eyes off camera. Literally just gonna pop a MAC chrome pencil in the waterline and some bottom lash mascara, and then I'll be back. So these are the finished eyes. I love this mint color. Like I said, I've seen so many people do this and it's just so pretty. But right, let's continue on with the face. Duh. Someone said, could you give me advice on how to stop walking to the fridge every 5 minutes? Girl, can someone give me advice? I literally cannot stop. But I'm trying to make sure that when I'm going to do my food shops and stuff, that I am kind of getting more, you know, healthy, not so bad snacks. So then therefore if I'm eating loads of them, it, you know, it doesn't feel too bad. You know, like carrot sticks and hummus, that kind of thing. Someone said, shit sex with your partner. Everything else is good, man. What do you do? Help a girl out? Oh, shit. I think that's, again, something that you need to talk about as a couple, because, you know, it's one of those things where if someone let me carry on doing something that they weren't enjoying just because they were like a little bit nervous to like talk about it and ask, I'd be so annoyed. I'd be like, for God's sake, I now just feel really embarrassed. I wish you just told me and we could have worked on it together type thing. So again, I think it's one of those things that you do just have to talk about. Maybe get some toys involved. So it's a little bit more better for you, like vibrator or something. Y'all know they be a girl's best friend. If you know what it is that's shit, like while it's happening, in the sense that maybe he just does this thing that like he thinks feels good but just really doesn't, maybe just either say it while it's happening but in a way that's not, you know, mean or anything like that, but just like, you know, a way to improve, like use your hand or like slow down or speed up or, you know, something like that. But if they're still not getting the message, I feel like it is just something that you are gonna need to have to talk about, because you don't want a life of shit sex with this person. And if everything else is good, it's probably way less awkward than you think to have that conversation. It is a little bit of an awkward one, so I do feel bad for you, but you're just gonna have to talk about it. If you wanna work through it, you're gonna have to talk about it. Someone said, boyfriend cheated on me twice, found him messaging girls, but I love him. Girl, no. Like, I know you think that you love him, but he clearly does not respect you. If a boy respected you and loved you the way that, you know, you want him to, he would not do that. They just wouldn't. Point blank, there's no yeah but, no but, like, period. You know, it's not up for discussion, it's straight facts. If that boy loved you and respected you, he would not have done that. So you might think that you love him, but why on earth would you want to stay with someone that does not feel the same about you? And like, you deserve so much better. Like, I cannot, sorry, I put like a pink highlighter on to complement the eyes and I'm fucking living for it. But I'm being serious. You need to do better. If he is willing to cheat on you and risk the whole thing, then throw him in the fucking bin. You deserve better. I know it's gonna be hard, but bottom line is there's a guy out there waiting to treat you like a frigging princess, so don't spend any more time with someone that clearly does not respect you. I'm sorry if that's not the advice that you wanted, but that's the only possible advice for that situation. Like, don't give him another chance. You've just said cheated on you twice. That is someone that is not willing to, you know, learn from their mistakes. That is a piece of shit right there. Just gonna go ahead and do my lip and use the Morphe Love Bite lip liner, the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Naked. This is gonna sound so extra, but it's just what I've been doing at the moment. And the MAC lipstick in Peach Stock with the MAC Dazzle Glass in Go for Gold on the top. It's just gonna make a kind of peachy, pinky, nudie color to really complement this eye look. The eyes are really matte with that pop of shimmer in the inner corner, so I just wanted to bring a little bit of sparkle onto the lip as well. I feel like this Dazzle Glass might be limited edition, but I have linked one down below for you that is very, very similar. So I'm gonna end on this question that says, I actually have no idea if I'm straight or bi. Any ideas on to figure this out? Have you not just answered your own question? If you have to, you know, question your sexuality and you're thinking that you even might be attracted to girls, then I think you probably are. But I feel like the only way you're really gonna be able to find out is if you actually do something about it. Maybe just ask yourself a few questions as if like, what is it that is making you think that way? Are you attracted to the way girls look? Like, in a way, because obviously like I find girls attractive, but I don't want to pursue them in that way. I can just appreciate a good looking girl. Do you know what I mean? And there's a difference, I think. Are you finding girls attractive in a way that you're thinking like, God, I would love to kiss her, or I would love to do something, just like in the same way that like obviously a straight girl would look at a guy and be like, God, I really want to do things with you, you know? It really just depends on like what it is that you're actually feeling when you look at girls, because I would say, oh my God, it's so hard to answer your questions while doing lips. Wait, hold on. Oh, bitch. Right, I'm just gonna really quickly finish this, and then, whew, while that's drying, can continue in answering. So, like I said, I would say you have to kind of really think about what it is that you're feeling when you think about girls and you look at girls. It's bad advice for me to say if you watch girl on girl porn and are you turned on by that, because it's very normal for girls to watch, for like straight girls to watch that and be turned on, because I feel like you can detach yourself from the fact that it's two girls and sort of just be more turned on with the fact of like what that person is doing. And obviously who knows a girl's body better than another girl, if that makes sense. So that's like, that's if you're being turned on by two girls doing things and now you suddenly think you're bi, I wouldn't, that's not the case. A lot of girls will tell you it's very, very common to be straight but just be turned on by two girls doing that, because you can detach yourself from what's really going on. Do you know what I mean? It's honestly, I feel like it has to be a physical thing, like in person, when you're looking at girls and seeing girls, or if a girl, for example, touches your leg, what are you feeling on the inside? Is it nerves? Like, does that make you nervous? But in an exciting way? Could you possibly see yourself kissing that person? And if the answer to all these questions is yes, then maybe you just kind of have to go for it. If you don't want to do it with anyone that you know, then it's probably better to do it with someone that you don't know and maybe just explain the situation, how you're feeling, and then you can just kind of go from there. Do you know what I mean? And be like, everyone says it in any situation. If you're straight, think that you're bi, or think that you're gay or anything, you know from a kiss. Like, you just know if that was right or if that was wrong. You just feel it on the inside. That's your gut. Like, that's how you know that your gut is real, because it, honest to God, speaks to you. You know, I've kissed boys before that when I've done it, I've just thought, definitely just my friend. Like, do you know what I mean? You can just tell. So I feel like my advice is to really sort of think in your mind what it is that's making you feel this kind of way. And if it's that you know, when you're looking at a girl and you think that you like them on more of a physical level, and it's and you physically want to do something about it, rather than it just being like, oh, I think she's hot, but like, you know, I just think she's a good looking girl. Do you know what I mean? It's only an inner thing that you will know, and then if you think it's wanting to do things, then you're just gonna have to do it. You're just gonna have to try. That's why they call it experimenting. You just wanna see and test, because you'll kick yourself if you just ignore this feeling. You know, just something to think about for when you can get out. Yeah, I hope that was good enough advice. So you guys, this is the finished look. I'm so obsessed with this color. I feel like it's so pretty, just super like spring vibes. It's April now. We really are officially in spring, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope you enjoyed just having a like chat with me. I tried to answer a lot of your questions. A lot of you guys sent in very similar ones, so I deliberately tried to pick ones that I'd seen, you know, recurring a lot, so I could answer kind of the majority of you. Can definitely obviously do more of these in the future. And so many of you guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, have asked me to do Instagram lives while we're in this time, so we can feel connected and we can chat about more of these kind of things. So I'm definitely gonna make sure to do that. Don't forget to tune in to my Instagram live with Pretty Little Thing tomorrow at 12 p.m. If you're watching this as this goes up, it will be on April the 2nd. So if you're watching this later, then it's already been and gone. I've left everything that I've used in the description bar down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.